So we've done a quick tour now of my new cat playground. Just kidding, it's my Flexia Reformer. But what I actually want to show you is how I use it and explore how it's affected my practice. For starters, let me show you the adjustments I've made to the various configurable pieces to make it best fit my body. For reference, I'm 5'10" and usually fall between a women's size 2X, 3X. For things like footwork, I prefer the foot bar angled out and in the higher position. For my spring bar, I usually have that in the middle or second gear because that creates a 90-90-ish angle with my hips and knees without feeling like it's squishing my belly. So I like my headrest up unless we're doing things it needs to be down for safety. My shoulder rests are in the higher position, giving me a little bit more length on the carriage. And oh Lord, here they all are. So I end up sharing my pillow at night with one of these boogers typically, which has led to some neck alignment issues. Keeping the shoulder rests in the narrower position tells me pretty quickly if I'm leaning one way or the other. So that's my Flexia home base, but like I showed you previously, it takes very little time to adjust any of these pieces to accommodate a variety of shapes. Mr. Fat Body Pilates is 6'4" in a barrel-chested men's 3X. Adjusting the spring bar out and widening the shoulder rests takes, 10 seconds at most? And he's ready to be assaulted by kittens, I guess. So where have I noticed the biggest changes to my practice with the Flexia? Where haven't I, honestly? But let's talk through the highlights. Bridging. The deep standing platform and wide carriage of the Flexia provide a great foundation for your feet and arms for bridging. I know we're always working up to bridging on the foot bar, but the standing platform bridge is probably my most commonly utilized variation. I honestly wasn't expecting the Flexia to change my pull-up game, but here we are. The round risers are way more comfortable to grip than the rectangular ones I've used on other machines, and the angle helps me keep my shoulder blades down my back and my shoulders out of my ears. I was taught to do short spine with my arms on the carriage, but on other machines, my arms didn't really fit, so I wasn't getting a lot of support from them. With the Flexia, my arms are actually engaged while I'm rolling up and down, which has made it so much easier to get myself up and keep my balance. I mean, yeah, a lot of the work is still happening in your core, but short spine is definitely a full body exercise. Mermaid. Long, fleshy limbs like mine have to work really hard to get into the Z-sit position. Doing it on a smaller carriage makes it that much more challenging. Imagine my relief when I did a mermaid on the incredibly roomy Flexia carriage for the first time. It actually felt yummy. Just make sure you're not accidentally squishing your kitten when you bring that carriage back into the bumper. Yikes. Time for the old side-lying shimmy. So I've always described side-lying work as squishy. It's a whole lot less squishy on an appropriately sized carriage, though, let me tell you. I've always had a love-hate relationship with anything side-lying because it just never felt like I fit. At least now when I say that I hate it, it's because of how quickly I'm feeling the exercises and not due to challenges caused by uninclusive equipment. Transitioning off the carriage from supine is a hot topic in my DMs. I can roll onto my side and then press myself up. With smaller carriages, I was always worried I'd roll right off the Reformer, so this is an option that's unique to the Flexia for me. I can also drape my legs over the foot bar and then use my arms to assist myself up. Again, I need the additional carriage width to be able to do this comfortably. I can also finally do an actual teaser because the carriage has more than enough length to make sure I'm not balancing so close to the edge when I come up that I'm worried I'm actually going to end up in the well. I've been practicing Pilates for 7 years now. I still have aha moments on the Reformer, but they're not an everyday thing. Or they weren't anyway until I got my Flexia. I've joked that the Flexia has caused a Pilates existential crisis for me because I honestly had no idea how much I'd adjusted the way I perform most exercises to work with equipment that wasn't built with me in mind. The Flexia was built with me in mind. The Flexia was built with you in mind. It has changed my practice and changed the way I define inclusivity in Pilates.